Welcome to Pit Party, episode number 5. We're thrilled to announce 2 new sponsors to come on board to help us here for each episode of the Pit Party. First, we have our presenting sponsor, Tripods in the Wild. Check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Also, Chummy Motorsports. Mr. Mark Miller has come on board to sponsor special segments each week. Coming up tonight, we got our guests here as always somewhere out there in Pennsylvania, Mr. Tom Freitas, and up there in the Northwest, Carl Lindstrom. I'm Kel Butler, and now we got Mr. Tanner Marr sitting at the controls to get us in tonight.
We are sitting at the controls. We're going to do our best tonight, Kel. Been having a little bit of issues with Discord lately, so if you see somebody's webcam freeze or something like that, don't be alarmed. We will try to fix it. See if we can get my mic turned up just a little bit for OBS.
I'm surprised you actually have it turned on this time.
Yeah, we're not muted this time. I told Carl I don't know why I don't have all this stuff ready every time. Carl, how you doing tonight, brother? Oh, well.
All right, sorry about that. I had myself muted. Doing well tonight.
Doing well.
Yeah.
How much are you looking forward or not looking forward to Richmond International Raceway tonight?
I like Richmond. I think it's a track that tire wear comes into effect. So I think those who take care of their equipment for the long runs will do well as long as we get long runs. It's a pretty tough track coming off too. It gets tight coming off too. So sometimes if you're running too wide coming off too, the outside car will get a little loose, and so I think there might be some cautions, but I hope things settle down and we get into some long green flag runs, and I think that'll suit me well for this track.
I think of tire wear when I think of Richmond, and then you hit 2 good points right there. Turn 2, turn 4, it just seems like that wall wants to just almost reach out and just grab somebody and snag them, suck them in. So I'm on board with what you said, with probably a few cautions based off that. Tom Freitas, what about you tonight, Bubba? How are you feeling going into old Richmond? Got you a big NIS win, or not NIS, but A Open win last night. So congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I got an A Open win here last night. We got 2 seconds earlier in the week. One, we led 102 laps and got wrecked by a lap car going into 3 on the final lap. So that was fun. Finished second. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I was not looking forward to Richmond. Richmond, for me, in the next-gen cars has been a big struggle. Hit on some stuff in the setup and got really, really comfortable. So I'm looking forward tonight. It's going to be a great race. And like Carl said, tire management and track position is going to be key. Track's going to cool down as we get later in the race as the sun starts to set a little bit. Track's going to rubber up, so it's going to be going through a lot of changes. So the drivers who can stay on top of them changes, which, again, we run open setups on Friday, is going to be key to having a good car at the end. You might see people fast in the beginning. You might see them slow at the end of the race if they don't keep up with setups. So be interesting to see how that plays out tonight.
Right. And, I mean, it's no secret, right? Richmond, we're short track racing. I, myself, my team, Five Kings, we love these short tracks. That's where we feel the most confident at. I would have to venture a guess. I'll look for Carol to be strong tonight. Larry will be strong tonight. Hopefully, I'll be strong tonight. I can't remember how I ran there last season, but Richmond,
you did pretty good last season.
Richmond's one of them tracks that it's kind of tough to pass at, so you gotta be careful how you're trying to come through the field if you have a bad qualifying effort.
And the one thing, speaking of that I noticed in the A Opens, it was actually a lot of good side-by-side racing, and you can make passes. It might take a lap or 2 to set it up, but if you set it up right, you can make a pass pretty easily with the next-gen cars here. So should be interesting. Should be fun.
Right on. So, folks, for the ones that have not tuned into Sunday night's Track Talk pre-race shows, we are going to be a little bit more structured with it, have what I like to call just segments. If you watch ESPN, FS1, Undisputed, any sports show, basically they have segments and things to segue into. So we're going to start doing that here. It'll get better and flow more fluidly each and every week, hopefully, right? Fingers crossed it'll never be this bad again, right? Hopefully we just continue to get better as we go. So with that said, let's get into our first segment of today. Mr. O Toilet Bow Tom going to hit us with some trivia facts. We like to call it Tom's Track Facts.
Yeah, thanks, Tanner. So, like he said, Front Runner Esports tonight, we are at Richmond International Speedway. It's a little 3/4 mile short track. It's a little D-shaped oval. It's a track that, is classified as a short track, but races as a speedway, right? Or what we like to call like a half mile, right?
Yep.
You get a lot of speed coming out of the corners and a lot of hard braking going into the corners. It makes for a lot of good racing. We got 14 degrees of banking in the turns, 8 degree at the starting line, and a 1,290-foot front stretch. And the front stretch at Richmond is odd, right? It's not straight, and it's got a nice curve to it. And if you're not careful, you can spin the car across the start-finish line on the front stretch. It really makes it kind of interesting. And it's got 2 completely different corners. As far as that goes, you got turn 1 and 4 are a little bit tighter, than you got 2 and 3 are not quite as tight on the track. So it's, again, totally opposite of both ends of the speedway. Setup's going to be crucial tonight. They got 51,000 seats there, so got a lot of fans hopefully come out tonight and watch, right? And we can have a good show there. So Richmond, right, opened in 1953, was the first official race at Richmond International Raceway. And, I'm sure somebody might know this, but if you don't, Lee Petty won the first inaugural race there at Richmond, and he won it in a 1953 Dodge. All right. And if you think we're flying now, let me tell you, these guys were, speeding back in the day with a pole speed time of 48.5 miles per hour.
Tom,
an average race.
I've been waiting for that. So 48 seconds was his average speed for that lap. That's barely faster than a school zone nowadays, folks. So that shows how far we've came. But like Kel mentioned off air, that was really fast back in the day, right? But sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to interject right there.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it, I think we talked about it earlier, they were that's when they were stock cars.
Right.
You could bring it off the showroom floor, go out and racing on Sunday, and then drive it to work on Monday. That's what a lot of those drivers did back then, which is pretty cool. Most record wins at Richmond is none other than the king, Richard Petty. I think, what record doesn't he hold, right?
Right.
He's the king for a reason. And then tied for second place with most wins at 6, really far behind, you got David Pearson, Darrell Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, and everybody's favorite Kyle Busch are all tied for second.
I can't believe I didn't mention Kyle Busch earlier when you were quizzing us about that. I cannot believe I did not mention Kyle Busch.
Well, I said,
Oh, well, you said old school. That's right. We didn't. Kel or myself, neither one mentioned Pearson either. I kind of just
I'm surprised.
Slipped my mind.
I'm surprised Kel didn't mention Pearson, to be honest.
Right.
Yes, I mean, it's going to be great. Oh, and also can't forget, I'm sure everybody's seen it on YouTube, seen clips of when at one time Dale Earnhardt in that old number 3 Wrangler car, on the backstretch was unbuckled, leaning out of the car and wiping his windshield because he couldn't see. Yeah, that was Richmond, folks.
He's actually outside the car. I think he's got like a little rag or a shirt, perhaps. No one.
He was using his glove.
Was his glove? Okay, I knew it was. It was going to be something that you wouldn't think could be used, but he's just hanging out and wiping his windshield off.
Sitting on the window there, wiping the window. I mean,
can you imagine the fine if somebody tried to do that nowadays? For one, they're so buckled in, and we saw with Blaney, I think, last year, right? He couldn't even get his window net
back up.
Right, couldn't get the latch back fully. So, can you imagine the tower, NASCAR tower, the guys, like the officials up in the tower, they're going to be like, all right, we got a guy hanging out of their vehicle right now, cleaning their windshield off. I'm going to need you in the hauler.
They would, I'm sure they would be parked for quite a few races.
Right. That's just insane. Insane to me.
It is.
Well, yeah, I can't believe Kel or myself did not think of Pearson, and Didn't think nothing about Kyle Busch. Well, Tom, thank you for the old track facts right then, buddy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Any other tidbits from anybody else as it pertains to Richmond that y'all can think of off the top of your head? And the crowd goes wild.
Don't speak at
Cricket's
once
chirping.
now. Okay.
Kel, what was you saying there? You kind of bled through what? You can't think of anything?
No.
All right, well, Kel, while we got the camera on you and that beautiful face, shoulder, how's the shoulder feeling? I know we asked off camera. We're going to let the people at home know, too, though. No sling, I see.
No sling. We're working on it. I'm getting range of motion back, and still don't have any strength yet. We haven't started strength training. That starts next week, but it's still sore as hell.
Are you able to pick it up any higher? Like, are you noticing over time?
Oh yeah, see, watch. I can.
Right. It was
I can lift my arm up. Look at that.
That's good. It was a
I
big,
can raise my hand to ask a question. So I'm getting range of motion. Just don't have any strength. Can't pick anything up, and
right.
it's still sore.
It was a big deal, and folks, you don't think about this kind of stuff right until you have a bummed out shoulder. Just simply being able to wash my hair two-handed was a big deal. And I remember doing it. I put the soap in my hand that was hurt without thinking, just reached up there and did it early in the morning without thinking. I was like, hey, wait, I just washed my hair and was no pain.
Yeah.
Didn't feel no pain. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like
it was probably about 2 weeks before I could actually reach my hand up on top of my head and actually do that. So.
Right.
Well,
I did.
You know what?
All 4 tendons in the rotator cuff plus bicep tendon repair. So it's pretty painful.
Well, you know what's really good strength training, right, Kel?
Yeah.
Wheeling a race car on Richmond. I'm just saying.
Wheeling a race car.
Yeah.
You racing tonight?
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, come on, Bootler. Come out here with us and bang some fenders and wreck the 83 car.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ford car you gotta wreck.
No, knock it off. Easy.
I did actually race in the trucks last night.
You did?
And it was a chore. Texas is a rough track to drive with one hand. So
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of skip around a little bit before we get to what's going to be my favorite segment, the Guess That Driver. Right now, he's been a little quiet, so we're going to put the spotlight back on him and pull up our Driver Spotlight segment here, sponsored by none other than Mr. Chummy Motorsports. Of course, want to thank them for being a sponsor of the Pit Party here. But Mr. Carl Lindstrom, Driver Spotlight time. You drive the number 83 Camaro.
Yes, sir.
Currently sitting P5 in the points. Got 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Your average starting position right now, Carl, is sitting P8, and your average finish P12. You've led a total of 23 laps thus far. What has been your most laps led track? Do you know off the top of your head?
Most what?
What track this season have you led the most laps at with a total of 19? Do you remember which track it was?
Oh boy, let's see.
Come on, think.
Auto Club?
Wrong. Go again. Think. 19 laps
Vegas.
led. Vegas. You led 19 of your 23 at Vegas, where I think you had a late race problem, maybe a wreck, involved in a wreck, something like that.
Yeah.
Resorted and finished 19th. Do you know where your best finish of the seasons came so far?
I think Coda
Nope.
was one of them.
Well, yeah, that's one of them. That's your second best finish.
And the week before Phoenix?
Nope.
Texas.
Daytona.
Yeah.
Daytona. Okay.
Daytona with a 4th place finish. So you mentioned right then, Carl, top 5 at Coda. How do you feel on road courses normally?
I usually do fair on road courses. I'm not the fastest. You usually got maybe 2 or 3 guys that are just in a class of their own.
Right.
I'm not usually in that class, but I'm usually in that class between, I don't know, maybe like a 4th or a 8th place car, depending on which track it is. So
heading into a track like Coda, was you kind of maybe confidence is the wrong word, but just not dreading it per se?
Yeah, I wasn't dreading it. I think they're an opportunity. I look at them as an opportunity. I think for the road courses, as long as you keep the car on the track,
Right.
you're going to have a pretty good finish. And so that's usually what I try to do. I try not to overdrive the car and push it too hard unless it's down, last 5-10 laps or so, and I got somebody closing in on the back of me or something like that. Then I might pick up the pace a little bit and try to push it a little bit. But for the most part, it's just keeping the car on the track, keeping it going forward and clean as possible. So.
I feel like
Carl.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you real quick. Do you do anything special for like the road courses? Any kind of, different, train of thought? Like what do you do to get ready for a road course?
Yeah. So. Yeah, there is. So our normal, I guess, circle tracks. I really listen to the RPMs in the car on when I get off the throttle going into the corners if we have to. For the road courses, everything is very precise. You have to lift off the gas at this spot.
Very
you have
visual.
to downshift into this gear. What was that?
I'd say road courses are kind of like very visual, whereas other ones you can kind of listen, right?
Yeah, they're very technical. So, usually I'll get spots on the track where I can let off the gas and then start downshifting. And then once I get that figured out, then I try to remember which gears I have to be in for which corners. And I think that's the biggest difference between the two. That and setting some brake bias up a little bit. Usually the road courses, you got to mess with the brake bias a little bit, see if you can get into the corners. I think that's where you can save and gain a lot of time. Is in braking. So
that's what I noticed. So I didn't get to run Coda. I got home, was super tired, but I noticed the ones like yourself, Elliot Drummond, Chris Carroll, Adam Thompson, the way y'all was able to not only one attack the corners, but then two, not even just the corner exit, the speed y'all was able to attack them corners and then just kind of rotate through the middle. It was light years ahead of everybody else. So I look at road courses not as an opportunity just to go out there and not run very well. That's the only opportunity I got at road course. You just gotta. I try to keep it on the track, and like I said, if you can keep it on the track and not worry as much about your pace, you can walk away with a top 10 finish just from other drivers pushing the envelope a little bit.
Yep.
So I feel like me and Old Lindstrom, our mindset and motto when it comes to racing, we kind of line up together with that kind of stuff. We was the same at plate tracks, now road course. So now I just got to learn how to be as fast as 83, and maybe we'll have a good day then.
I don't know about that. I think you're pretty quick, Tanner. I think we seem to find or be right with each other a lot at the tracks. Yeah,
absolutely. And speaking of that, I just said it last night. I couldn't shake Kel Butler last night. I feel like me and Kel have been around each other a lot this season when he's actually on track and not giving us penalties from the booth.
Yeah.
So now,
Kel, was some good racing last night.
It was
really tight.
I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick, Kel, before we go to our next segment. Mountain Dew. What's the reason for Mountain Dew on every one of your paint schemes? Last night it was an orange truck. I think live wire, probably, if I had to guess, right?
Yep, live wire.
Wait, what's the point of Mountain Dew? Just a fan of Dewski?
Well, some time ago I used to work for PepsiCo a long time ago.
Okay. You slinging drinks like in the store?
And I just like Mountain Dew, man.
Hey, see, you're out west, right?
Yeah.
See, when you can't go into a house where I'm at. I'm southern United States. I'm in Kentucky, right? I'm 10 minutes away from the Tennessee-Kentucky border. You can't step foot in a house and not see Mountain Dew in there somewhere. I mean, that's just. I thought it was a southern drink.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was very predominant out west.
Well, they've done that with the hard Mountain Dew that they came out with. That's kind of a southern thing. I can't get it out here, but
well, you say that.
Get it in Tennessee.
I've never found it. Matter of fact,
it's somewhere. They got it in places. Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida are selling it, but I don't think they've branched out anywhere else yet.
Okay, see,
I'd like to try that.
I looked for it, and I told Emily when we went to a Buc-ee's, right, that was down in Tennessee, and I was like, if I find it, I'm gonna ship it to Kel. I remember you saying you couldn't never find it either, right? And,
the closest place for me is there's some store in Missouri that sells it. Okay. And I'm in Nevada, so that's a long drive to go get a...
That closest to you is not very close.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I was gonna buy something for you. I couldn't find it, which is probably a good thing because I don't know if shipping alcohol is illegal or not. Right? I'd hate to go to jail for just you to try a hard Mountain Dew, but I remember us having this conversation before, so I did look for you, and I couldn't find it either.
Yeah, it's hard to come by, I guess.
All right, now it is time to go into another segment brought to us by none other than Chummy Motorsports. It's a segment we have dubbed, very, very creative naming here, Guess That Track. These guys up here, Carl, Tom, and Kel, they don't know the track that I have getting ready to pull up right here, so they're going to be flying blind with this. This one's not timed like a segment we'll do in a little bit is timed. This one, they just kind of going to work together and see if they can figure out. So, fellas, I am sharing my screen. Your slideshow is coming up right now. If there's any questions you have to ask about the picture, I will give you as much of a hint as I possibly can. Any guesses so far? You saw half of a track layout, and you see a picture of the track there. AJ Allmendinger, the hint for this picture, he won.
That's the road course at Talladega.
Yeah.
The road course at Talladega.
It's a road course. I mean, you can tell right there. Now, with that picture, it's cut in half, right? So, I mean, obviously, I wasn't going to show it all to you. So, with that picture right there, what are you thinking? What track are y'all thinking? Kel, you go since Tom's already been a little goofy on us.
That looks to me like it might be the Charlotte Roval.
That's a good guess, Charlotte Roval. Carl Lindstrom. I don't know if you're able to see my screen or not. Hopefully you are. Any guesses right here?
Maybe we'll go with the infield at Daytona.
That's a good guess. So I will tell you, it is kind of a Roval per se, but it's not named Roval.
Is that Indy Road Course?
That is the Indy Road Course. Ding, 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 ding. Tom, I didn't ever come back to you because I thought you would know it. Did you know what that was right there?
I knew what it was as soon as you brought it up. So
the first picture, this one right here.
As soon as that, I knew it was Indy.
I knew it wasn't Sonoma because there was too much green grass.
Yeah,
right.
I got a lot of laps at the Indy Road Course, so
right.
I knew it was Indy right away too. As soon as you showed Allmendinger there.
I heard Carl make a noise in the background. Yeah,
I didn't want to give it away. I wanted to see if Tom knew.
Oh.
So that was supposed to be the give me picture, right? Because you can tell that's a Cup car, right? And that's when he won in Cup. This one right here, that picture right there, I was like, if Tom sees that the correct way, he's going to know what that is because of going into turn 1 all the way up through 7, right? So I was like, I'm going to mirror that and flip it, just try to trick with him. Now, that picture right there, I wouldn't know that's Indy looking at that right there. The Roval was actually a really good guess because of where you come out onto the track, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the picture of the track, the one that you said you didn't know, I mean, you could guess like maybe Road America or something like that.
Right,
you know, grass is really green. It looks pretty, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty cool segment. Shout out to you boys for having it. I think, who ended up answering it first? Was it Kel?
Kel.
It was Kel. Congratulations, Mr. Kel. Now
I was trying to drag it out a little bit, you know?
Right. Now we're getting ready to drag something out, folks. You're gonna see right here. The clock comes up. These drivers are gonna have 2 minutes for this next segment. This next segment is called "Who's That Driver?" They're gonna get 10 hints. The timer will start as soon as Kel's frozen over there with a smile. There we go. Timer will start. You were smiling big, like you were super happy, Kel, to be doing Guess That Driver. Or Who's That Driver? So the timer will start as soon as I finish question or hint number 1. They have no idea. Tom, do you have any idea? Have you seen any hints?
I have no clue.
So Sam Baumgartner and the driver has seen the hints, and myself, of course, but we're going to give these drivers or these people up here with me 2 minutes.
Just to clarify, this is a league driver that runs with Front Row, correct?
As of right now, this is a Front Row only league driver. Now, if we start to branch out, we could possibly do NASCAR or just overall motorsports. I think that'd be cool too. But this one today, hint number one, it is a front row league driver, okay? So let me get my ducks in a row. Got the timer pulled up for you fine gents. Let me get the hints pulled up. I got that. All right, it will start as soon as I finish reading hint number one. This driver lives where it's cold, but sadly it doesn't snow much. Hint number two, this driver has 2 digits in his number. Hint number three, if you add his numbers together, you'll get less than 10, but more than 0. This driver has finished top 10 more than once this season. This driver is a returning driver from last season. This time, he's just representing a new team. Last season, his team, you could have called them Lizards. Number 7, this driver is fairly quiet, never causes a riot. Hit number 8, this driver's best finish was on the podium this season. Kale, you do the points. This driver's second number is more than 2, but less than 5. And the final clue, if these clues 1 through 9 didn't ring a bell, then I don't know what will. Minute remaining. Minute remaining.
Oh, boy.
This driver's team last season, he could have been associated as a lizard, maybe a pit lizard.
Pit lizard?
Yep. He is living where it's cold, it just never snows.
Is he a current 5 Kings driver?
He might be. He might have left a lizard for royalty, I'm not sure. 30 seconds.
It is the number 43 car of Larry Bell.
It is the number 43 car of Larry Bell. So Tom wins. Who's that driver? Week number 1. Was that very tough? The hints were kind of tough to come up with, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really racking my brain pretty hard. That was a good one.
That's what we're supposed to have. Good deal.
Yeah.
So when I first did this script this morning, Kale was actually my driver. I thought it would be funny if Kale would have to guess himself right, but I couldn't come up with more clever hints. So and I didn't want to message Kale and be like, "Yo, give me some trivia about you," right? Then he would know.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah,
right.
Then he would know. Yeah.
So yeah,
but he's not even here then.
Right.
He didn't show up.
But so good job with that. Mr. Larry Bell was our who's that driver for this week. Tom, let's circle back to Richmond. Yep. And I'm gonna ask you straight up, over under right here. Over under, not cautions, lead changes. 15 lead changes tonight. Tom Friedis, Toilet Bow Tom, over or under?
Over.
All right, I like it. All right, over. So how many? Give me a number.
18.
10-4. All right, Carl Lidstrom. Over or under? 23 caution laps tonight. Over or under?
It was 20 what?
23 caution laps tonight. Over or under?
200 lap race.
I think we're gonna be over that.
Over that?
Yeah. I think it's usually about 4 caution laps, 5 caution laps per caution. So.
Well, that's something where I'm going to keep an eye on tonight because they do. That's 5 caution laps when a caution comes out, and there's no need for the cautions to be that long. So we're going to keep an eye on that and probably shorten some of them up if nobody's on pit road. So
I'm open under, but I think it's going to be over.
Okay. All right, and now Kale, you're up in the booth. 7 cautions, over or under, discounting, not counting the 2 stage breaks. Yep, 7 cautions.
I'm gonna go with 7. Huh? I'm gonna say under.
Under 7. Okay.
I'm gonna say maybe we might get 6 because I think it might start off a little tight for some folks, but I think once the race gets going, I think we're going to get some long green flag runs.
And when he said tight, he's politically correct, meaning it might be a little wrecky starting out, right? And
might be a little wrecky.
Might be a little wrecky. All right, let's go back around the horn one more time. Toilet Bow.
Yeah.
Over, under, the first caution of tonight's event. If it's over, obviously it'll be after this lap. Under, it'll be before this lap. Lap When's our stages first?
Stage 1 is lap 40.
Okay.
Stage 2 will be a lap 100.
Over, under, lap 31.
Over.
So you think we'll go clean the first stage, basically? Almost, at least? Okay, I like that. Carl Lyncham, you. Do you think first stage will be clean, or you think we'll make it to lap 40 cleanly?
No, I think we're going to be under.
I think
I
under,
think we're
too.
going to, yeah.
All right, so now Carl Lyncham, over, under, lap 14.
That's a good one. I'm going to say under. I think, like Kel said, I think we're going to have a couple early cautions, and then it'll settle down.
See, my thing is like, as league owner, like I want to have confidence in you guys, right?
Right.
You guys don't have confidence in you guys. Damn.
Well, we're optimistic and we're realistic, right? So it's like
I guess,
the two
right,
coming up forces. All right, and now let's circle back to Kel for the final one tonight. Kel Butler, I want you to be looking right at your camera because this is very serious. I'm gonna make sure I'm looking you right in the eyes. Over under the 4-car wins tonight.
Oh, no way in hell.
Oh, Kel, come on, brother. Come on, Kel.
I think you're gonna have to beat that 32 car because I've watched him at Richmond and he is fast.
What about? So you're saying Tom, right? Tom.
Yep.
What about? So peek behind the curtains. I mean, who hasn't had a run-in with him this season already? Elliott Drummond. That kid has proven to be pretty fast, huh?
That kid is pretty bad.
So, I remember, if he's watching, I apologize now, but remember at the start of the season at LA Coliseum, he was very aggressive, right? And we thought he was going to be one of those drivers that was
I got
not
wrecked
cut
twice
out.
for the win. Twice.
No,
Twice.
Yeah, he wrecked you
Two
twice
different races.
in a heat.
In a heat. One in a heat, one in the
Right.
feature event. I could have killed him that night. I hated him.
But
Yeah.
and Tanner's like, no, because we kicked him. Kel and I removed him. Tanner's like, no, you got to bring him back. Let the drivers do what they do. We police it ourselves. I'm like, all right. And he has come out of nowhere and really just he's been putting on a hell of a show, racing clean, racing hard. So
I'm glad y'all gave him a
so far
second
this year.
chance. I'm glad y'all gave him a second chance because I don't know if y'all keep up with it or not. Kel, you do the points, but he could be. I mean, I think he's a favorite for Rookie of the Year because this is his first season with us for sure.
100%. Yeah,
right.
100%.
Well, let's segue off of that. So Kel said the 32. We're going to see if he wants to push his chips all into the table or not. Kel,
I'm pushing them all in.
Your pick for tonight? Your pick for tonight. Tom Friedis?
Tom's got this track dialed in, let me tell you.
Kel, he's normally on his roof by lap 7. What do you mean?
I have watched him this week. I have watched him run 3 races this week at Richmond, A Opens, and he finished second, and first.
Right.
In those 3 races.
I like it.
He would have won the second one, but he got wrecked by a lap car on the final lap.
Yeah, that's pretty demoralizing right there. That was
all because he didn't hold his brakes.
Yep, just because he didn't hold his brakes.
That's
Tom's
sick,
good
man.
here. He's got this track dialed in. He's ready.
This track, y'all may think I'm funny when I say this, but let's pull up Tom here so I can see if he thinks it's hilarious or not. I think of, you mentioned it earlier, Richmond, it's a short track, but you kind of drive it like a short speedway track, right?
You drive it kind of like,
Nashville
a mile and a half
Freeway?
track, right?
Nashville Super Freeway?
Yes.
And
yes.
2 seasons ago, what was your best track? I know
Super
why you're
Speedway.
laughing. That ain't funny. Don't laugh, Tom. You wrecked me. You killed me.
I was going to say, I'm laughing because we still got beef from 2 years ago.
Yeah, you killed me at Nashville. But
yeah, Nashville I was on fire that night until I got into you.
Nobody had anything for you. I think Sexton, he was still racing with us. He was running second to you, but he couldn't run you down. Just could not run you down. So
I don't even remember what happened between you and I, but it was
turned me down the backstretch going straight, Tom. You right hooked me.
There it is.
You're on the outside, I'm on your inside. You right hooked me. I remember.
I hit that bump and the car bottomed out and just
I think I've still got the replay
time
of
out.
that race. I'll have to go back and look at it.
He just said he didn't remember what happened, and then now I tell him what happened. He's like, "Oh wait, I hit that bump, and then you came over and all that, right?" No, I'll be honest, I don't remember. I hope Kel does have the replay because I don't remember how it happened. Honestly, I don't remember nothing about it. I joke with you about it, but I do look for you to be fast tonight because although I hate Nashville Super Speedway and love Richmond, I do compare the two still. Like they kind of drive the same.
They are comparable,
right?
Yep.
So who's your pick tonight? Oh, Tully Bo.
I'm Gotta have to pick myself tonight. Tons of confidence. We got a good race car.
Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. I ain't never. I ain't ever, bro.
Yep.
Well, let's see
Have
if old Carl can be a little humble over here. Carl? Who's your pick tonight?
So first, I would like to compare this track. To me, this track reminds me a lot of Phoenix, except for the banked corners, or you got more banking.
Yep.
When you come off of 2, how it's really tight reminds me a lot of turn 3 on Phoenix, where you come off the corner.
Identical.
So, yeah, I think to me this track it reminds me a lot of Phoenix with just more banking, a little bit more speed in the corners.
I've never thought of that. I've never put that together. That's really good. That's closer than Nashville by far. I mean, I just never thought of that.
Yeah, and then for my pick tonight, I've raced with him here, and he's been quick every time I've raced here, and he's always ran up front at this track, and I'm going to go with Steven Johnson.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Tanner. I'm going to go with Steven Johnson tonight. If he's racing, I guess.
Right. Steven T, for the ones that don't know, he is trying to be a commercial airline pilot, so he is currently doing a lot of testing, a lot of I think just putting hours in, right? Because they have to have so many hours in. So, man, stay safe, Steven, out there.
A lot of flight hours.
Stay safe out there, man. I'll be honest, I'm going to keep my feet planted. But that's a good pick right there, Carl. Yeah. Steven T, you throw a dart at a dartboard that just has tracks on it, Steven T is going to be a favorite at any of those tracks it lands on, right? So, good pick tonight. So, I guess it's my turn now.
It is your turn.
I hate to pick him because he's so Canadian. He's so big-headed, so ugly. But I'm gonna go with the loser, Chris Carroll. I guess I feel like Carroll's gonna bounce back tonight.
Carroll's like Johnson, right? You put him in a car, no matter what car it is.
It's annoying. So, peek behind the curtain. Me and Carroll teammates, and during practice, he'd be like, Tanner, just try this right here. I'm like, well, Carroll, I'm doing that, bro. That's what I'm doing. He said, yeah, I know, but just do it like this. I was like, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. Like, I can't possibly do it any better than how I'm doing it. He'd be like, here, just jump in my cockpit, I'll show you. And then I watched it, I was like, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. I don't know why you're 4/10 faster, but I'm doing that, I promise. Him and Steven T.
Canadian horsepower.
Right. It's like they have an extra gear to find, and I'm stuck in reverse, snail mail style.
Yeah.
Tom, we went a little bit tonight. I'm glad. Been wanting to go about 30, 45 minutes, so we have hit the mark just about. I picked Chris Carroll. Carl picked Steven T. Tom picked himself. Did he know that was legal? I feel like that's against the rules.
Is it?
And then old Bootler, he picked Tom too, so it's 2-on-2. Carl, we got to wreck Tom tonight. I mean, it's just plain and simple.
I hope both Tom and Kale's right. I'd love to see Tom get the win tonight. So.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah,
he is brown nosing you, man. He's brown nosing you.
When it comes to that extra bonus point at the end of the year, I'll remember that.
Tom, before we wrap up shop, explain to me, because I'll be honest, I really don't know. How are we doing the schedule this season? I know you mentioned 12 weeks on and then something, right? Hey, what's going on with the schedule? Talk to me.
So, during the summertime, during the schedules, when a lot of, drivers are going on vacation with their families and doing stuff with kids and whatnot, right? So being we race on a Friday night, not during, the rest of the week.
Right.
After May I have to look, because honestly,
I put you on the spot. This went on the script, but I was honestly just curious.
Yeah, so basically after May 12th.
After May 12th,
we are going to have 13 weeks off for the summer. Okay. This way it gives everybody time to go on vacations, do it with the families. They don't get to worry about being home on a Friday night.
The summer.
Right? Off for the summer, right?
Right.
And then we will be back at Daytona August 25th to kick off the second part of the season, where there's a lot of good tracks the second half of the season, so it should be fun.
So let me ask this, Tom, and I know there's some confusion from drivers that I've spoke to about this. After May, whatever, when this segment of the season's done, is that all it is? Just a segment? Will the points carry over from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's still going to be a full standard
it's a full
lane.
season.
NASCAR season, right? But we're just taking a little bit of break. Now, second question. When we come back for that second segment, are we still following iRacing's tracks?
No. So that it will kind of fluctuate then, being, when we come back, the season's 3/4 of the way over then for, NASCAR and iRacing. So, so it's going to be a little more mixed up. So drivers are really going to have to rely on getting in, doing practices and stuff like that, and everything like that. So it's going to be a little more up to the driver to get prepared for the second half of the season. But I think that might be a good thing. It gives them, they kind of have no excuse kind of not to prepare then, right? They can't just jump into an official race, and run. They got to, do a test session. We'll set up practice sessions and stuff like that for guys, but we'll make sure everybody's prepared. But it should be a lot of fun, I think.
Right. Well, folks, it is about that time to close up shop. I'm going to hit Tom with the question I ask weekly because I can't never remember. What time's practice go up, Tom? What time's green flag coming out so we know when True Sim Productions is live?
So practice is open right now. There's already guys in there at Richmond starting to turn laps. And qualifying will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8
p.m. Central. So that means, Samuel Baumgartner over at True Sim Productions YouTube channel will be going live at about, we'll say 8:45 Eastern, just to give or take a little bit. So catch us out there, folks. We're going to start doing these pre-race shows on YouTube. I tried to build the Facebook audience up a little bit. We also are live on Facebook right now, but trying to really focus now on YouTube. You folks that watch these and watch Sam broadcast, me broadcast, y'all have been killing it. We are one of the fastest growing broadcasting channels out. That's not me just spitting hyperbole or whatever, just spitting random facts out here. This is stuff I've seen hardcore evidence of and had people come tell me this, right? So thank y'all for that. Favor time. Anytime you see us go live, if you could just thumbs up that video, just something that simple, it helps out a ton. It tickles the YouTube algorithm's fancy. They love it. And the more times that happens, the more times people get a chance to see all the hard work Sam and I put together. When it comes to these pre-race shows, I can't tell you how long I worked just trying to make sure these logos are cool, just that kind of stuff, right?
And when Tanner says hard work, it's hours and hours and hours. It's literally another full-time job to get this stuff ready week after week. So
right.
Thank you, Tanner and Sam over there at True Sim. We couldn't do this without you. So
absolutely. Off work today, the first thing I did was get here on this PC and start building logos out, right? That's what we try to do because we're trying to be unlike every other broadcast company, hence the pre-race show and stuff like that. So a long spiel, I know. I'm just asking you, please support us. It helps out a ton. Get you a True Sim Productions t-shirt, by the way, over at Savage Edge Apparel. Google it or just look up Savage Edge. It will pop up. Get you a TSP shirt. Tom, I want to thank you for coming out with us. Kel Butler, as always, with the mighty fine intro. Carl Lindstrom. I'm so glad to have Carl show up with us every week because me and Carl didn't get to talk a lot, but I feel like he's my buddy now. Get up in here and we shoot the crap back and forth. Got some Dale Hartman Jr. Driver suits behind him. That's pretty cool. Just noticed that. And I also found out he is a RC truck racer. He races RC trucks. Before we close the shop, Carl, what's the trophies? What are they? And then we'll be out of here.
Well, I got a couple trophies back here, hanging up on the wall.
Yeah.
And then above that, there's my RC cars. So, so they're 2017 short course truck, two-wheel drive short course truck track champion, and second place for four-wheel drive.
So I mean, you thought he could just wheel it on Iris, and he can wheel it on the controller. He can wheel the car. It don't matter. That's Carl Lindstrom right there, who was our driver spotlight tonight. Folks, want to thank y'all for tuning in. Kel, Tom, Carl, do y'all have anything else, or are we good to go here?
Yeah, I just like to tell Sam and True Sim Productions, thanks very much, and also everything you do, Tom and Tanner, to make this happen every weekend. It's such a pleasure to race it, and I just want to thank you guys.
We appreciate that. I don't touch the league stuff. That's all Tom, right? Tom may talk to me. We may bounce off ideas off each other, but I mean, that right there, that's Tom and Kale. They're unsung heroes. They give us a place to come out, not only race, but to gripe at each other. And then on top of that, like Kale, he's not even racing tonight, right? But he's going to be there. He'll be there. He'll be watching the action. And if he sees somebody do something dumb, they're going to get the old lug boot. They'll get the boot out.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, so shout out to them. That's the unsung heroes of Front Row. Folks, want to thank y'all for tuning in. Tom, Kale, anything before we're done here?
I just, want to again thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button there for True Sim Productions. And, give Front Row there a follow on Facebook, and that'll keep you up to date on everything. And good luck to all the drivers tonight, and let's put on a hell of a show.
Kale Butler.
I'm just hoping we have a good race tonight. I know last week with that road course, I didn't have a whole lot to do up in the booth, and I just have a feeling tonight I might be busy. But we'll see what happens.
If I'm around the 32 car, I'm going to make sure you're a little busy, at least analyzing one of them, right?
Yeah, you're going to terrorize somebody.
Right. Yep. Folks, want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to give a huge shout out to Tripods in the Wild for coming on and being the presenting sponsor. Check them out over at Facebook and on YouTube. And then, of course, Chummy Motorsports for coming on board. It's been myself, Tanner, Kale Butler, Carl Lindstrom, and Tom Tulipbo Friedis. And until next time, we'll see you.